Well, that was weird. Just died on me out of nowhere in the middle of that. Hopefully this goes better now. In the meantime, yo and hello. Welcome back to the Idiot's Lounge, puppies and kittens. It has been a while. My 90 days of revoked live streaming are finally up as of this morning. So I figured what better way to celebrate than to just randomly come online unprepared and have a chat. Chill with people who may or may not have time to stop by and chill as well. I don't really have anything specifically planned. It's just to see basically how well this goes. I was hoping to try and test the multi-streaming, but for some reason every other platform worked except for this one. Hello, Kefki. Welcome. Hugs all around for you. Yeah, like I said, nothing really planned. Just testing stuff out, chilling out, relaxing. Speaking of which, I'm going to get some music going because there's bound to be some quiet spots with all this unpreparedness I have going on. Yes, it's so nice to have this back. Not like I couldn't stream before, but it was a hell of a lot easier with YouTube in my repertoire there. So hopefully, once I can get the YouTube incorporated into the multi-streaming, that'll work a lot easier too. Especially if I plan to stream games in the future, which won't happen as often as it used to, but it still has a chance of happening. I'm gonna throw a hangout. I'm gonna pull a Johnny and throw a Hangouts link into the chat. If anyone wants to join, feel free. If not, well then, by all means, that's your choice. I'm sure you've got stuff to do and stuff like that, but just in case, if you want to come and chill and hang out for a bit, there you go. Like I said, I've got nothing prepared. I'm just here basically pinching myself to finally have this privilege back again. So yeah, and it's not like I get very many good time options anyways. I mean, every good time slot in the night is taken every night of the week, and this is probably the only time slot I'll have now that I'm still seeking employment again. But same time, beats fucking trying to guess when Monkey will or will not stream and compete with that, if at all. So hello, Cynic. How's it going, good sir? As I mentioned, I've thrown a hangout link in the chat. If you want to stop by and shoot the shit, that's entirely up to you. You're more than welcome. If not, that's cool. I understand. You probably got things to do. It is the middle of the day or morning or night, depending on where you are. Well, I say night, I mean evening, but yeah, basically. Just killing time and soaking in the fact that I've got this baby back, so yeah. Let's see. Oop, wrong one. Gonna try and post this. Hey, Geodes, how's it going? You know what? You get one too. There you go. I am by no means planning to start a wrench no state, but I am more likely to give a wrench than to let most people not have one. I'm not giving wrenches to everyone, but I will give a wrench to a lot of people. Good? Tired? Well, you know what? That sucks, but as long as you're good, man, that's all that matters, am I right? Tired is a good sign. It's a sign of a hard work. Well, usually a good sign, and Blah! I have the power. You have the same power everyone else has shown up has. Which means you have nothing over anyone. But still, yeah. Yeah, just pull up the internet, see if we can find some funny stuff. Or at least some shit to fucking talk about. If you'll notice, I've gone pretty basic with this. I do have a couple of things, like if it ever comes around to it, I have one of these bad boys, which hopefully I never need. And then I've got some alerts for when I finally master the multi-streaming with YouTube incorporated, so I can get the DLive alerts on there. And I reluctantly have Streamlabs alerts, which I hope I never need to use, because I'd prefer to keep my Streamlabs as a joke as opposed to I actually need it if you are willing and able. And yes, as the scrolling text there says, you will find some buttons below this video. There's a like button, a dislike button, a subscribe button, and a share button. I request that you smash them all, or some, or even just one, like it's a neighbor's pumpkin on Devil's Night. Particularly the share one, you know, spread the word, get some people around, have some good time. Besides me just rambling and trying to not make it so apparent that I am absolutely unprofessional at this right now. Least professional Time Lord on the internet. Actually, wait, are there any other Time Lords on YouTube? I might be the most professional if I go by Polylogic. That's scary. That's a scary thought. Me, the most professional of something. I'm taking it. People are busy, which is fine. You know, it's understandable. And they just don't feel up to it. I'm sure Kefki's got internet issues and stuff like that too that she's scared of, which happens. If not, then I'll just shut my big old mouth. It's so good to be back. So good to be back. 90 fucking days and 4 hours. That's how long it took, give or take. Because of one Twisted Sister song. Just one. Just one. That's all it took. Not so much a warning, an email, nothing. I come on 2 days later to go set up a regularly scheduled stream at the time, and boom. Guess what you don't have, Della? What's that, YouTube? Permission to stream on our platform! Yeah, but those are Doctor Who clips. They're not exactly YouTubers known as Time Lords, so I think I got some leeway in that department there. So if that being the case, yeah, I am the only Time Lord YouTuber. Damn, that makes me the most professional. Well, I do try to set a low bar. I'm a team player that way. So how are you all doing today? You know, anything new, anything exciting, anything catch your interest that you want to talk about, or maybe see me go off on, you know, whatever. Well, I say see, probably hear. I mean, I could change it to see to visual if I wanted to, but I think I'm going to take it easy right now, you know. Casually break myself into it. Let's look over on the Explore tab of the Twatters. Is there anything of interest here? Oh, that's interesting. Trump calls on China to start an investigation into the Bidens. You've got a screaming baby niece in the next room, so there's that. I see. Well, that's probably not as fun as it could be there, Cynic, so my sympathies. Speaking to reporters on Thursday, President Trump said that China should start an investigation into Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden. The remarks come amid an impeachment inquiry into Trump's earlier request for Ukraine to investigate the Bidens. Okay. I'm watching a shit show unfold on Twitter. Other than that, not much. Ooh, what kind of shit show? You've caught my interest. Shit shows are fun. Shit shows are very fun. Trump to reporters on Thursday. China should investigate the Bidens. Trump already faces an impeachment inquiry over a similar request to Ukraine. Well, you know what? He's already in it. He might as well fucking go full ham then, right? Saying that just means absolutely shit in my books. Now, to be fair, I am a simple idiot. The idiot, to be fair, to be more precise, but still, that seems like a stupid point to bring up. This comes as the U.S. and China are in a trade dispute. Okay. Joe Biden's campaign responded to the remarks, calling them a grotesque choice of lies over truths. Because we haven't seen a shit ton of that from anyone over the last 6 years now running for presidential office. At least 5 years minimum, 6 for sure, probably. Like, oh my god. Pot, meet kettle. Kettle, pot. Do you see any similarities? Because I do! Even if that's not true, even if it's not a grotesque choice of lies, I'm still going pot and kettle here. House Intel Committee Chairman Adam Schiff, says Trump's remarks reinforces the urgency of our work. What work? Seriously, what work? I'm not saying you guys have to like the guy, but can you go one fucking week, U.S. Dems or Libs for sure, mostly, but can you go one fucking week without nitpicking the tiniest little thing and then blowing it up out of proportion? Can you? I'm not saying Trump's perfect. I will never say that. No one is perfect. Anyone who says that about anyone, especially themselves, fucking liar, and you should always keep an eye on them. But it seems like ever since Trump has threw his hat into the ring for the for the presidential candidacy and then got elected, every fucking day, if not every few hours, someone is fucking searching, trying to find something. Why not use your fucking time and energy on something more worth it? Like, I don't know, shit that's actually going on, shit that is actually a problem. Hell, look up north. We've got a fucking dumbass. Why don't you fucking pick on him? Because not enough people are. Oh, I'm sorry. He's so pretty though. Just look at his little face. How could you be mad at that guy? He's a feminist. He doesn't manspread. I want to punch you guys in the face. Like, oh, speaking of which, fucking has a photo op. Speaking of the fucking Justin Castro, apparently has a photo op at a gym. Invites the press for the photo op, but not all the press. No, that would just make sense. It's obviously got to be the ones that are more than willing to give a biased, if not close enough to a bias that it doesn't hurt him too much, or he doesn't think it'll hurt him too much. No. And then of course they got he's paid for fucking security and police to show up outside this event where people are peacefully protesting, but cops and security start fucking being unnecessarily aggressive. I'm not trying to say they went like, oh, they went up to them and started pushing them randomly. It did happen, like they got a bit physical where they were forcefully gesturing and gently pushing them back and stuff like that, but there was no need for it regardless. It was absolutely stupid. They were there peacefully protesting, and then all these bullshit rules come out. You cannot cross the property line here, but how do we know where the property line is, man? It's very vague. You guys aren't giving us... So, and then of course, David Menzies from the Rebel Media gets pushed down trying to ask a question to a fellow media personnel. gets pushed down by security to the ground. And then when he asks who and why he got pushed down by, the guy is like, "Oh, you alright?" "Yeah, I'm alright, but why did I get pushed down and by who?" "Oh, you fucking retarded. Seriously. I shit you not. If Canada cannot, I repeat, cannot handle another fucking month, let alone another fucking term with Justin Castro as PM, in my opinion. I will never claim to be all that knowledgeable on these subjects of politics, whether it be Canada, US, or anywhere else, but I will tell you this much. From what I've seen and witnessed, we need to start doing better up here. We really need to start fucking doing a lot better. It's just fucking ridiculous. Like, how? Oh, I was able to do... I'm surprised I had that much to say on something. Ooh, okay. 30 minutes ago in gaming. Kamala Khan is a playable character in the Marvel's Avengers video game. Good for her. Guess who gives a fuck? No one. Can't stay, but I shilled Huggles. I call you an idiot as a joke. I know you know, but just explaining. Fair enough, sweetie. Much appreciated regardless. Just beat Gears of War 2 and started Gears of War 3. Pretty fun way to kill time. Nice. Damn lack of notifications. Hey, man. What do you expect with YouTube, right? Lucky I saw Kefki's tweet. God bless you all. Also, hey, Terry. How's it going? I pulled at Johnny and threw a Hangouts link in chat. If you guys want to come hang out, by all means. If not, that's cool. I'm just gonna ramble on and chit chat for a while, try and find some stuff to talk about. I'm just basically enjoying that I have this back after 90 days and 4+ hours, give or take. It's nice. Yeah, I think I just answered that question, so yeah, I'm doing pretty good, bud. I'm just looking for some shit to talk about right now. I'm so excited for next week and sad because it is the start of the last season of my favorite television program thus far, Supernatural. It is one of the few television programs I still watch. Once that ends and the other few that I watch end, I will most likely have completed my transition to full non-television shit. Basically just movies and YouTube or whatever live streams kind of thing like I normally do. I used to be a hell of a fucking TV addict.
It's recording.
In fact, my first email was blank the TV freak at blank.blank. Oh, I am definitely a Winchester, because you know why? I am not a lose-chester, Geodes. Oh, Jared Padalecki can't be the only one to kill that joke. I'm going to throw some jabs in, too. I'm very excited to see this season, though, because of the last episode of season 14. That was a very interesting twist, and... Hello, Terry.
Hey, how's it going?
Not so bad. Yourself?
Oh yeah, pretty good.
Right arm, right arm.
So, how long do you think you'll be able to keep your channel before it gets
Well, I think I'm gonna keep my music streams away from YouTube, so that should help.
Probably a good idea.
But with the way I talk sometimes, it's only a matter of time, I'm sure. However, Monkey does give me hope, so...
Yeah. We'll put it this way, if Jack Gunski still has a channel based on his Jackbox streams, you're pretty safe.
Yeah, that's fair. I meant more of like specific disparaging towards YouTube or politics and stuff like that. The Auschwitting jokes that occur during Jackbox games, I'm not too worried about. I mean, if it gets too hot for them to handle, they can always just step out the oven.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that reminds me of a fucking thing I saw on Twitter earlier. It was a picture. I was looking through during Johnny's stream. I was looking through tweets because Camel had asked if we found any recipes for cooking babies yet. So I'm like, no, I haven't really been on Twitter since I woke up. I only really woke up fully during Johnny's stream, and I'm like, so I went in and I searched in the search bar, baby recipes. Ended up getting a bunch of baby food recipes, but I finally found one of the tweets I was looking for. So I'm scrolling through the replies, and it's like, oh yeah, you got your baby back ribs. That's obvious, simple, but you know, good choice. You got grilled cherub with puppy salsa, and then there's fuck, I gotta pull it up on Discord, which I closed. So give me a minute. But there's a meme someone posted there. I posted in the Trail of Tears Discord of Hitler with Greta's face imposed on it. It says, "Put them in the oven," is the quote above the tweet.
Nice. I'm guessing baby carrots also feature heavily in these recipes.
I'd imagine. Baby carrots, baby tomatoes.
It's yes. Hashtag don't eat babies.
Yeah, that's a good call. I will add that to the scrolling text, actually.
It's something that AOC neglected to say herself. She did not come out against the eating of human babies.
Now, I'm gonna regret this, but to be fair, I believe she was understandably shocked at that moment to even respond properly to that.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're being fair, then she didn't actually do anything wrong. If you're being funny, then she endorses baby eating.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna deny that. Like I said, in the interest of being fair, and I curse my Canadian DNA for making me do that. But that aside, absolutely right. She should either come out against it or start listing off recipes in honor of. If you're not gonna come out against it, support it. If you're not gonna support it, come out against it. Do not. There is no middle ground.
Yeah. Don't be a fence sitter like Phil DeFranco or Boogie.
Yeah.
Take a stand. You're either for it or you're against it.
Which makes me think, that woman with the shirt saying that you should eat babies in that video, she didn't think far enough. She should have a couple recipes on that shirt as well, for the bulk of that shirt to set examples,
Or at least have pamphlets that you can hand out.
Yes. Otherwise, this seems like some half-assed hoax that you're just doing for attention and trolling. Either that, or you really are. You really do have something wrong up in the head there. But I'm more inclined to lean towards the troll.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. It was a troll.
Given like, hey, it was almost convincing enough to be considerable. Hey, that's there. Maybe she does have something wrong with her thought process. But given current year, I can't give that much credit anymore. And real quick, hey Uncle Jeezy, who doesn't love a good barbecue or BBBQ? Liars, that's who.
The extra B is important because it does stand for baby.
Well, I mean, yeah. And you know what? Uncle Jeezy gets one too. There we go.
Got to prolong the expand the wrench nest state.
Well, like I said, I won't exactly have a full wrench nest state. I won't give everyone that comes by a wrench, but I will give a majority of them wrenches because if I give you a wrench, you show up enough. I think you're decent enough. Why not? I trust you enough.
Yeah, I mean,
What's
if everyone has a wrench,
no
the
booby bops?
ability for wrenches to do anything is greatly limited because you
Yeah.
can't time out other mods.
Exactly. There's no pocket bops. There's no booby bops. Sorry, Poppy. Never letting it die.
Yeah, but yeah, if everyone has a wrench, then there's not much that anyone can do with their wrench because mods are immune.
Now, and worst case scenario, you start abusing your wrench, in which case I just take it away.
Yeah.
And you never get it back until you can unless you can somehow prove that you're trustworthy enough again, in which case fine, yeah, no problem. I got no problems doing that. Bad behavior is not to be rewarded, it is to be punished.
Yes. And Uncle Jeezy is being horrifically racist in chat.
Perfect.
So that's what I have to see.
My wrenches go to the worthy, it seems.
But it still breaks my brain that the ADL would officially declare the OK hand symbol as a hate sign. It's like, do they never want to be taken seriously ever again?
Well, of course not. Why would you want to be taken seriously? That would just make sense.
No, I mean, I don't want to be taken seriously, but I can understand the ADL might want to.
Well, no, then that's who I'm referring to.
Because, yeah, because if you come out against that, then people are just going to say, well, what next is breathing a hate symbol? Because it's just idiotic.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, if you look at it from the perspective of someone who's not on Twitter all the time, who doesn't know the story as to why they're being tricked into thinking it's a hate symbol, if you're just a regular person and you hear the OK hand symbol is now a hate symbol, you're going to think, okay, well, the ADL has lost its fucking mind. I don't need to pay attention to them ever again.
Well, no, and yeah, that would be my answer too. Like, they think the OK hand symbol is a fucking white power move. My response, OK symbol. Okay.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm only half white, and I don't see how me doing that is a fucking white power move. I've seen so many fucking different ethnicities use that as the OK symbol over the course of the fucking decades I've been alive. But all of a sudden, sorry,
Saint Obama did the OK hand symbol.
Oh, Saint Obama.
And so, I mean, every time that comes up that the OK hand symbol is white supremacy, there's always like 6 pictures of Obama like doing the OK hand symbol just to prove the point.
Mm-hmm.
So Obama's a white supremacist.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Well, fuck. I used to fucking work with a guy years back. He was from synagogue. He's a Rastafarian. Great guy. We'd work in the kitchen, and he'd be on the station he worked on was on the one side of the kitchen. The station I worked on was on the opposite side. And then after a dinner rush, we had our asses handed to us. It was a busy night, out of nowhere. As soon as it died down and everyone was starting to slow and clean up and get ready to start doing their pre-closes or whatnot, he would just take that moment. He would shout, "Yo, Della!" And I'd be like, "Yo, Boba!" He'd raise his fucking hand in the air. He'd be like, "White power, man!" And I would just raise my fist in the air. Solid, brother, solid. Fuck, man.
It's pretty convenient that your nickname is Della in real life, so that you don't dox yourself when you tell those stories.
Well, I mean, I am smart enough to substitute my real name, with Della sometimes, or most times, when I'm talking about it online. I mean, I'm not too particularly worried about doxing myself. What the fuck are you going to gain from knowing my information, in my opinion? But at the same time, I not exactly got any reason to divulge it so easily, so...
Yeah.
And I have mentioned before that part of my name, a good chunk of my name, is derived from my last name. I've mentioned that on streams before, so I have no problem reminding that.
Yeah.
It just makes it very convenient.
My real name is a mystery to all, I'm sure.
You mean it's not Sean Smith?
It's not Sean Smith.
Damn it! I thought I had it this time.
Yeah, I think when I signed up, I had to sign up to Google Plus, because you know how for a small time, if you wanted to use YouTube, you had to have a Google Plus account.
Yeah.
And they said you need to use your real name. It's like, yeah, whatever. So I put it in, and I just never changed it.
Yeah. Fucking when I was trying to set my shit up, that's what they tried to make me do too. And then I thought you had to actually put a name, and not only that, but two names, a first and last name. So that's why when I first started coming around these circles on YouTube, it was Della space Hazed.
Yes,
but
I remember that.
But it took me a while before I realized, if I just put Della Hazed and put a space on the last one, this site gets tricked by that.
Well, they're not very smart.
No, and I'd rather keep...
They're in charge. They're obviously not smart.
Well, I mean, look at all the things they've done lately over the last couple of years. You really needed that to tell you they weren't smart.
I just wanted a cheap shot against Susan.
Fair enough. Any shot against Susan is a cheap shot. And Geode says, this is obviously my real name. Some people live under a rock. I am the rock. Nice. I can smell something. What is it you're cooking there, bud? And don't you raise that eyebrow at me, boy.
I remember The Rock when he was wrestling.
Back in the good old days of WWF.
Yeah. It's 20 years now since he was around.
It has been, give or take, yeah. Just the one eyebrow. The Rock, Geodes, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, back when he was a wrestler, one of his signature looks was he would raise an eyebrow and look at you from a turned head and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
And one of the things he did all the time was he'd ask someone their name, and then it doesn't matter what your name is. Yeah.
How are you doing tonight? It doesn't matter how you're doing tonight. What matters is The Rock is the People's Champion, and the People's Champion is here to lay the smackdown on your candy asses. And if you could smell what The Rock is cooking, eyebrow raise.
And that was always such a stupid catchphrase. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
I know. But back then, for me in the 90s, I was a fucking kid in the singles, barely double digits at those times during the fucking WWF eras. And yeah, I didn't think it was the greatest, but I still thought it was cool at a young age. Oh, Uncle Jeezy says he had a rap song, It Doesn't Matter.
I have never heard of that.
Either that or he's making a joke, which, good on you. I'm gonna check that out right now. Yeah, he's either saying he had a rap song titled It Doesn't Matter, or he's saying he had a rap song, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, when I was watching the wrestling, like, I loved The Rock, but I still thought his catchphrase was stupid.
Oh yeah.
It's like he was brilliant to watch. It's just every time he said that, I'd go, that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah. With Wycliffe John.
I don't know who that is.
I guarantee I butchered that name, but you know what? When your parents name you like that, you should expect it.
Yes.
You should also take it as a sign that they don't love you very much. I'm sorry.
I would agree. I think anyone with the name Wycliffe, I guess, has very cruel parents.
And Geodes points out The Rock does have an enhancement drug commercial. Bad news, it's on SNL. I'm still more likely to take it seriously than if it wasn't. Oh, and Uncle Jeezy was right. The Rock does have a song with Wyclef John or Gene, whatever you want to call it. Titled "It Doesn't Matter." So yeah, that's cool. I'm not gonna listen to it, but yeah.
Well, if you play it on the air, you'll lose your channel already. So that's probably a bad idea.
I didn't even think of that. I wasn't even gonna listen to it, let alone fucking play it. I wasn't even gonna read the lyrics. I just thought, might as well check it out.
Yeah, no, I'll probably listen to it after the stream just because I could use a good cringe.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But no, don't play it on air because that would be.
No. I'm gonna be taking it easy with that for a while. Like I said, any music streams I'll probably be keeping to the caffeine website for now until at least I get through finishing until the next time I stream and finish Edna and Harvey the Breakout. Then I might test a music stream on Twitch and or DLive, see how that works. But I've already tested enough limits on YouTube as is. So
I would say, I mean, as ridiculous as the chat system is on Caffeine, they're clearly okay with music streams. I think it's probably a good idea just to keep them on there.
Well, I think so too. But with DLive would be the last if I test a music stream on. With Twitch, I'm not too worried about Twitch because Twitch, I've done music on those streams before with music requests, and the worst they've done is mute the audio in the archiving in the archive video. Yes, the replays and stuff like that. Plus, even if I did lose my Twitch temporarily or permanently, it wouldn't be the biggest loss in the world to me. DLive would be something I would probably be very skeptical to try if I tried it, but that's just like if I could see other people doing it and find out how they're doing it without getting in trouble. That's the only way I would do it on DLive.
Yeah, I mean, I would say losing your Twitch account would be fairly meaningless. I mean,
yeah.
How many Twitch viewers do you even get?
Well, when I was doing the dual stream, probably one, maybe two out of the entire streams I was doing since I lost my YouTube streaming privileges. In total.
And was that because everyone else was on DLive, or?
Yeah. Basically, everyone else was on DLive.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Go ahead.
DLive has treasure chests.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's a lot more interaction, and I like the point system on DLive where chat can earn points without paying for them, just simply by interacting in the chat and with the stream and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really, really good idea because it motivates people to chat, and that what they want as a platform is high user engagement.
Yes,
and giving them, I mean, it's pennies that they're giving away. No one is going to make a fortune chatting on DLive, but it's still a little sort of motivation to be more talkative, to not lurk, to actually get involved in the conversation.
Well, even sharing a DLive stream has rewards to it. Like, you can get, if you share a DLive stream, the code grants you like a certain amount of points for everyone who signs up from the link you sent and stuff like that, or clicks on the link you sent and stuff like that too, right? So
no, I think that was a very good move on DLive's part. I think Twitch is just trash.
Yeah.
I don't like Twitch at all. It's not as bad as Discord. Discord is still the worst.
Personally, I'd agree. Personally, I would agree.
And apparently there's something called Mixer that
Yes.
Geodes is in chat.
Yes, I was gonna read that out. Yeah, I've heard of Mixer. I've heard negative things about Mixer. I'm not really keen on looking into it because the less I have to look into a new thing, the better for me. The more time I can focus on trying to find a new job, finishing all the videos I've been working on lately. Speaking of which, I've decided that I cannot do 4K videos for the gameplays I'm doing because the length of the videos just if it's a shorter video, fine, I can create a 4K, but it just takes way too fucking long for me to render a 4K video, let alone upload one, whether it's 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour or more. It just it takes double the time as what the video length is to render it and upload.
Harvey's new eye, that was like a 3-4 hour video.
That was like 2 close to 3 one, but the other 2 are within the 1.25, 1.5 hour ranges.
Okay.
I just did them like that because the chapters, there's only 3 chapters, and then I figured just break it up into chapters, and then worst case people can use, like, my playthroughs are just for, if you want to watch them, that's great, I appreciate that, and I'm happy about that. If you want to use them for like walkthroughs and stuff, I love that. That's a big part of why I'm making them, so that I can help others who are like me and sometimes need a helpful hint or guide or something like that, whether it's part way through or whatnot. And I've got 4 videos for the Harvey's New Eyes, 1 for each chapter, and then the last one is going to be like, I think it's less than 10 minutes or less than 20 minutes. It's just the 3 alternate endings.
Okay, because I was going to say, did you at least get the good ending? By good, I mean the one, I don't want to spoil it, but
no.
The one where Lily breaks character, shall we say.
Yeah, see, I was smart. I noticed that there was multiple endings, I'm like, okay, I just saved. I'm still recording. Pick an ending. Stop. Once that's done, stop recording. Exit out before it saves. Go back to where it saves to the ending again, and then just record that. And yeah, so it was pretty. I lucked out on intelligence in that one.
No, because it does have multiple endings, but there's only one right ending, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm afraid I don't use Outlook geodes, but thank you very much. I do appreciate the information always. Any suggestions, comments, and info is always welcome in my opinion. I see it as a potential way to help improve or potentially improve for the benefit of you guys for the content I create. So I thank you very much. Unfortunately, I don't use Outlook, and I've heard too many negative stories about Mixer, so.
Yeah, it's I've heard of it. I've never heard anything good or bad about it. Just that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not looking to add any more platforms to. It's like I only added DLive because you got banned from YouTube. Like, being banned, I never would have made a DLive account either.
Yeah.
Like, if I wasn't watching the MST3K with Frosted, I might have a DLive account to watch the stream. But if I'm watching him in the watch together, there's no point watching it on DLive as well.
Agreed, and that's completely understandable in my books.
Yeah, so I don't use DLive anymore. Now that you've got this back, I cool as the treasure chests are, it's just far more convenient to have everything on YouTube.
And as I mentioned earlier, I did go and actually let's do a rough segue a bit here and talk about my plans for the channel, if you don't mind. So I mentioned it earlier, and I've mentioned it in Minions Discord and in conversation with Sanguine and Quiz the other night, or earlier this week. But I've mentioned before that I personally have a Streamlabs, and I really, 100% want that there just for shits and giggles. That is all the reason I want it there for. However, I do have a fear that if I can't find employment enough, I may need to start taking it seriously. I won't ask you guys or anything like that. I have too much pride, and or at least I call it pride, and I like I said, I just really don't want to have to. My mindset is I would rather have a job to earn my money, just like you guys probably have jobs to earn your money, and there are far better people to go to. So, but I do have one for later on if it comes down to it. Fingers crossed it doesn't, and stuff like that. I've been working on stuff for if that comes to need. I've also been thinking about my channel setup. So if you look in the description, you've got a bunch of links, many of which to my Twitters, my different platforms, YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Caffeine, my alternate YouTube account where I do readings in the alternate persona I have, Zal Dead, called Red Dead Narrations. Those I'm hoping to have one every night released at midnight my time, so 2 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Central. Please, if you're interested in that, or you think you might be interested, consider checking it out. There's also links to some cool YouTubers I hang out with or know of. If you like the music that's playing in the background, it's two artists that I know of. One is a close personal friend of mine named Lawrence Cooper. This is one of his songs right now, Can You Hear Me Through These Voices? And the other one is obviously Mustafa from the Minions. He's got a SoundCloud and a YouTube. I believe I have both linked down there. They make really good music in my opinion, and not just because YouTube doesn't seem to hate me for playing them.
Well, Mustafa's at least is royalty free, so I mean I presume that Lawrence is as well.
Well, his originals are. He does a lot of covers, but just to play on the safe side, I use his originals, which there aren't that many these days, but...
Yeah, because I know Mustafa's is royalty free. That's why, like, he pushes people, like, share it around. There's like...
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to keep this to make money, like, get my name out there. It's more important.
Yeah. And fuck, but that's all I want to do ever since I started hearing his music, man. Like, more people need to hear this in my book is what I thought when I first heard that song, Massacre at Macus.
Yeah, when I heard, because I'd never listened to it until I saw you use it in your streams and videos.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I found out that was Mustafa's music, I went to his SoundCloud and like, holy crap, this guy is amazing.
Yeah.
Very, very talented, and I mean, I like that type of music to begin with, so it kind of, yeah, I'm really, really quite fond of Mustafa's music.
What I really need to do, though, is I need to approach Lawrence when he's back from his vacation to Florida. I gotta see if he can... I think a few months back he mentioned that he might have had this recording of a certain song about Brian Mulrooney. I don't even remember who he is, or I don't know if anyone else knows of the name. But way back when I was in high school and I first started hanging out with Lawrence, him and his roommates at the time and another guy we worked with, they were in a 3-man band, and I would come chill with them after work or after school, depending on the day. And he would try and teach me some guitar stuff, and we would mostly just sit around, smoke, drink, and just chill while they practiced their music. And we ended up doing this one song about Brian Mulrooney where I edited some... It was just for shits and giggles, and I was half in the bag at the time, but fucking ended up adding some bad vocals to it. So I think that'd be funny if we could find it just to play for shits and giggles.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Drunken Della singing sounds like
Drunken teenage Della singing.
Even better.
Back when I was freshly legal, I believe I was 18 at the time, so I was buying my own booze on the way up.
Yeah, it's fortunately for everyone, including myself, I'm pretty sure there's no recordings of me singing anything anywhere. So your eardrums are safe.
See, I'm like...
I mean,
oh, go ahead.
No, unless you count like on Minions, the sort of half silly singing that pisses Cryptic off because he's trying to sleep. But like no proper like recordings of me singing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little like Monkey when it comes to singing. I got no problem singing. I can't carry a tune to save my life. Monkey says he can, and I'm inclined to believe him just because he gives me no reason not to on that department. He just chooses to do it badly because it's funny, which, fair enough. I just think it's funny when I sing for fun of it and I can't carry a tune. I think it's funny sometimes. If it's not, people will tell me and I'll be like, okay, fine, fair enough, I'll stop.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in the was it on Twitch when you had the music and you started singing along, and I'd give you shit for that.
Oh yeah, it's just good fun though.
Well, yeah, I mean, my comments were something along the lines of, you're not quite as good as Lindsay Sterling there, because you were singing along with Academy.
Oh yeah.
And like, Lizzie Hale was the singer rather.
Yeah.
You're not quite as good as Lizzie Hale, and it's like, that should go without saying. It's quite obvious that I'm just dicking around.
Oh yeah.
But with Badger, I used to say, stop singing. No singing allowed.
Oh yeah. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I gave my first dislike to Monkey today for his stream not just because he had Badger on, but because of the way Badger was, it just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, you know my thoughts on Badger. Yeah, he can be a bit badgery, but he's still a decent guy in my books.
Yeah, of course.
It's just, you know, sometimes Badger just starts talking and it's just it's just like, man, like, enough.
I will dislike anything that Badger is on, but that is purely as a joke.
Oh yeah, like, for sure.
Because I know that in terms of YouTube, it doesn't matter whether you like or dislike, it all counts as engagement. Like, if it was legitimately hurting Monkey's streams for me to dislike them, I wouldn't do it. But because I know it's not, it's like, I can just dislike Monkey's streams whenever Badger is on, and it sort of makes me laugh.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, like, if I thought it was gonna affect Monkey's stream or anyway, I would just simply not put a like or dislike. Like, if I had anything against them for that, then my answer would be to not like or dislike, because I know that would affect the algorithm and stuff, as opposed to putting a like or dislike.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's just Badger, then fine. Yeah, I'll change my like to a dislike because you made it on topics that I don't really give a shit about. You dragged it on a bit, and the way you talk and constantly try to keep talking is kind of annoying to me.
Yeah, if it was actually going to hurt the stream to dislike it, I would just do a super chat saying, Badger, stream dislike.
Yeah. And
then I wouldn't actually dislike it. It would just sort of be to get the message across. And hi, Prof Bro.
Yeah, she says, finally made it to one of my streams. Well, it helps that I'm doing it at a time where people are more inclined to be available / awake / Monkey's not streaming for once. And it also helps that I have my YouTube streaming back for once after 90 days and some odd hours.
Yeah. It was funny, they make you wait a few extra hours just to be dicks.
Now, they didn't respond to the twat I fired off on Twitter, but I'm wondering if that helped it, because it's like, you know, because it was like an hour or two later during Monkey in the Morning, and I'm like, hey, YouTube, I had my YouTube streaming privileges revoked. It's been 90 days. First strike to my knowledge, I didn't get any email warning me about this or tell me how long to wait or stuff like that. My question is, how much longer should I expect to wait to find out if or when I'm getting my streaming privileges back? And then, sure enough, I finally get to sleep around 8 o'clock this morning. I wake up 2-3 hours later and it's back. I'm like, yes! Suck it!
So let's celebrate with the playing of AC/DC.
No. Like I said, I'm not risking it, at least not this soon, for sure.
No. If the day after you got it back, you got banned again, that'd be permanent. They wouldn't.
Well, yeah, and I was rereading the terms and stuff like that for what happened. Apparently, now I do remember them changing up their terms of service and rules and stuff like that within recent months, adjusting them rather. So it could be that too. But apparently, a first strike should issue a 1-week revoke of your streaming privileges, uploads, and community updates and stuff like that. And yes, Prospero's right. Audio is much harder to mask opposed to video. But yeah, I got none of that. And it says that you are supposed to get an email telling you about this. You're on a 90-day suspension. You're on a 90-day probation, and you get revoked for all your stuff for 1 week. What I got was no email, no warning, 90 days removal of streaming only. So I'm wondering what the hell that is. And it's that, and what I listed that I read was supposed to be for a first strike, for a first community strike offense, which is what I had. So like I said, it's probably because they changed up their rules and such within the recent months. But yeah.
Do you think it might be because of copyright? Like, depending on the infraction you get, and like copyright infringement, like on the scale that you were doing it, they say like, no, this is too egregious. Like, he had an entire string dedicated to copyright infringement, which essentially you did.
But sadly, it's not the first time I've done that. It's only the first time I've done it live, where a song that is banned worldwide was on there.
Yeah, I'm just saying that might be why, instead of being a 1-week thing, it was a 90-day thing. Is they just said, look, this is 2 hours, 1 hour of nothing but songs he doesn't have the rights to. This goes beyond a 1-week suspension. We need to go straight to 90 days.
And yes, that I could understand that, but that does not excuse them from not emailing me, explaining that, or getting in contact with me at all, trying to explain to me, hey, this is what happened, this is what's going to happen, you've been made aware, sorry if this inconveniences you. I don't expect that much, but it'd be nice.
Yeah. No,
have a nice day kind of thing.
They 100% should have contacted you. I'm just saying that as speculation, that might be why, instead of the 1-week thing, they skipped straight to the 90-day thing. Just the egregiousness of the offense.
And I think that would be a fair assumption in my books. I'm just more annoyed with they didn't bother telling me. That's basically the most annoying part to me, is they didn't bother. I had to find out for myself by going into the live dashboard 2 days later and reading, oh, you can't do this.
Well, you would think it would be automated, that when they hit the button that says banned for 90 days, it automatically sends an email to whatever email account is linked to that YouTube account.
Yeah, also real quick, hey, Inquisitor, if anyone wants to, I've said this earlier, if anyone wants to hop in, I put the Hangouts link in the chat. Just scroll up a bit, you should be able to find it. If not, that's cool, I just figured I'd throw it out there. I personally will be right back. I was hoping to last another hour, but I gotta go tartness, so... luckily I've got music playing, so you don't have to try too hard if you don't feel like it to entertain him in my absence, Terry, but if you wouldn't mind.
No worries.
Alright.
How is everyone? Hi, I'm Terry. Apparently, Queather's making Geode very tired, so that's a bit of a shame. And don't worry, Prospero. According to REM, everybody hurts. So, you are not alone.
Everyone hurts?
Hey, Quiz.
Hello, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I need an excuse to sit in front of my computer and paint some stuff.
What is getting painted at the moment, then?
Big old piece of terrain.
And I'm
I
back.
need to...
Hey, Quiz.
How's it going?
Not so bad, man. You?
I'm okay. I'm doing some painting. Need an excuse, and this seems like as good as one as any.
Well, whatever works, right?
Exactly.
And do you have "Blame It on Terrain" written on all the pieces?
No, but that sounds like a pretty damn good idea. I'm thinking about actually, Duncan Rhodes, a long time ago, put out a really interesting video on Warhammer TV that I'm thinking about doing sometime, where he showed how to make propaganda posters to put up on building walls and stuff. I think that would be actually kind of fun to do.
Oh, no. Oh. Okay, it should be back by now, Prospero. Should be back. All I saw was Rut did a crash, and then I looked at just in time to see stream resume, so hopefully it's back. Seems to be running still. Oh, there's a low output now.
And say it didn't look like it completely crashed. It's still around.
Just give it a minute there, folks. I apologize. Hopefully it'll get itself back up to proper standards.
I will say this though, one thing I am doing for this is I'm painting like the walls, like they're
Paint them walls.
well, yeah. I'm
Coat
painting
them walls.
Paint them walls. Build them walls. Paint them walls. But what I'm doing is I'm using the contrast paint. And everyone's been talking about that.
Okay.
And essentially, it's really interesting. It's like a paint and an ink mixed together. Like it's already kind of watered down, and if you smell near the, like if you get your nose anywhere near the container, it smells like ink.
I was going to say it smells like what the Rock is cooking.
No, that too. Yes.
The Rock can't cook.
I will have you know that Dwayne has excellent culinary skills.
You know this for a fact.
Well, I can surmise.
Good enough.
But what's really kind of interesting about this is that it essentially gives you an ink wash without needing to do an ink wash, which is really time saving.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it actually look fairly good without having to invest too much fucking time. I will say this though, it takes forever for this paint to dry. I painted a little bit of like the wall last night, and it wasn't until this morning that it was dry.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So
you need faster drying paint.
yeah.
Can you just get like a hairdryer and you...
I mean, you could. There's nothing stopping you from doing it.
Except that would only increase it by only so much.
That's also a rather bold assumption that I have a hairdryer.
That's true.
I mean, you've seen me, man. I don't need one.
No, but you got roommates or a roommate.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's true.
One of you's bound to have a girlfriend, potentially.
Well, that's, it's kind of a weird question to go and ask a girlfriend. Hey, can I borrow your hairdryer? What do you need it for?
Well, no. I mean, one of your roommates has a girlfriend. She spends the night from time to time, leaves a hairdryer over in case she stays over the night, needs it in the morning. Just walk in when she's not when she's not staying there. Just grab it, use it, go.
Yeah. I guess. It's going to be an interesting thing, though. I kind of wanted to get this done before our game tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Well, I mean, if you need more time to paint, looks like I might be hosting tonight, so you're more than welcome to join.
Oh, okay, sure.
Just throwing it out there.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm just looking for excuses to paint, and this sort of thing, like doing streams, really helps me find that excuse, because otherwise my brain keeps on saying like, well, you don't really need to paint. Yes, I fucking do. Yeah, I fucking do. I want to get all this shit done this month, because next month is the Sisters of Battle release, and I want to paint all those new minis.
Yeah.
It is like the idea of you arguing with your own brain about whether or not you need to paint movings.
Well, dude, I do that all the time.
It's just a funny idea. Just someone yelling at their own brain.
I mean, who hasn't? Geodes. Someone towards Inquisitor. Why is my hairdryer painted all over with the same Roman numerals as my boyfriend's roommate's minis?
Yeah.
Because now it is better. You're welcome. Shh, just let it happen.
Well, just paint it red so it goes faster.
Yeah. So the motor moves faster. Yes.
There you go. Either that, or it won't move at all because it now became a commie hairdryer.
I prefer to think that the orcs are better than the commies. So.
I mean,
yeah.
It's naturally.
It's a low bar to clear, but yes, the orcs are better than the commies.
It's actually really funny. There's an audio drama called The Prophets of Wog, and in it, first of all, it's awesome because all of it is told through the orc's perspective, and there's a bit in it where one of the characters actually has to go and look for some salvaged parts from this downed spaceship. Well, when they get in there, they find out that all of the orcs that were in that ship are all dead. Because the grots are like, if orcs are orcs, well, grots are like goblins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're essentially like unevolved orcs. And they're also the slave caste amongst the orcs. The orcs, use them as chattel. And the Gretchen took it, or the Gretchen Grots, same thing, literally means the same thing, took it as their opportunity to rise up against their oppressors.
Oh, God.
And they formed what was called the Red Grot Revolution.
Oh, God.
It was hilarious though, because he's doing all the commie stuff. He's like, comrade, we need your help to throw off the shackles of our oppressors. And there was a grot character that was the personal servant of the main character. His name is Bosgat. Was the orc, and the Gretchen's name was Frick. And so he's all like, comrade, you need to help us with our revolution. And Frick goes, Bosgat may be a boss, but he's my boss. And then he shoots the commie grot. It was awesome. I fucking love that audio drama. It was great.
And apparently I'm one of those people, because I said I always used the Chaos Space Marines when I played Dawn of War.
Chaos
You're one
Space
of
Marines.
those people. Okay.
Dawn of War 1 or any of the sequels?
I bought all of them. I don't think I played this like Dawn of War 2, but I did have like the expansions to Dawn of War. I forget the names of them, but um, there was one that I really liked where they sort of added like a map screen instead of like a normal campaign. You had
Yeah, the
that was called.
it was they actually did it in two of them, in two of the expansions. There was Dark Crusade, where that one had they'd introduced the Tau and the Necrons, and then in what was the name of the other one? Soulstorm, where they introduced the Sisters of Battle and Dark Eldar. It was also the same way.
Yeah, I played both of those. I kind of just forgot that there were two separate games. But Dark Crusade is the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, I had never played Dark Crusade. That was the one I actually kind of missed. I bought I was actually a beta tester for the first Dawn of War.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, we played Dawn of War 1. I played through Dawn of War 1, and then I got Winter Assault, which was the second one, which they just introduced the Imperial Guard. Like, that was the only faction that they introduced. And then I missed Dark Crusade, and then picked it up again with Soulstorm.
Right.
I had to with Soulstorm because they had Sisters of Battle.
Yeah. No, I did play Soulstorm as well. I think it was too similar to Dark Crusade, so I didn't spend as much time on it.
Well, the major difference between them is that when you did a mission in Dark Crusade, right, all of the shit that you built in process of completing that mission was saved. So if like the enemy attacked you in that position, all that stuff that you built is still there.
Yeah, I like that.
They threw that out in Soulstorm, and that was the one criticism I had, because I played Soulstorm first, and then I bought a Humble Bundle that had Dark Crusade in it. So I played Dark Crusade after, and I'm all like, oh man, that was so much of a better system. But I can see why they did that with Soulstorm, because it really got you playing the game a lot longer. It's a much longer game than doing it that way. Or maybe artificially longer, but it was still a longer game.
Yeah, because I really liked that persistence across plays, like where you won this area, so when they attack, everything you've built is still there. Like,
Be careful, don't want to spill my recipe.
But no, that made it feel a lot more authentic, like you were actually battling for control, rather than having, unrelated skirmishes that happen to affect the global situation. It felt like, no, this is exactly how I left it. This is sort of added that consistency and persistence. And like, no, I like that.
I can see why that's good, and especially considering that you're not starting from scratch every single fight.
Yeah. But just for like world building, like to add immersion where it feels like you're really part of this world, as opposed to having everything reset all the time. No, I just liked the system in Dark Crusade a lot more.
Yeah. But I still have to say my favorite game in the series has to be Soulstorm, because they added my Sisters of Battle.
Well, that's fair enough.
I remember I played a lot of it on multiplayer, and I was fairly good at rushing people fairly early on with Battle Sisters.
Is there like a mod that you could use to add the Sisters of Battle to Dark Crusade or something like that?
Unfortunately, no. The Sisters of Battle themselves is a whole army. Like they did have other like mods that added the Sisters of Battle as an army in other games, but they were vastly different than how they were when they were officially released in Soulstorm. Yeah. So I just kind of why bother getting the expansions when Soulstorm is right there, and I can
No, absolutely. Because I normally don't like real-time strategies that much,
Mhm.
and Dawn of War is one of the few that I just absolutely loved.
Oh yeah, Dawn of War is a great game series. Oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah, no, I was very,
well,
very
Dawn of War 1.
right.
I do have to make that, yeah, because Dawn of War 2, it's no longer a base builder,
Oh, okay.
and that was one thing that people didn't like. It's like you control a squad, and you like the reinforcement points. They still do reinforce, but you have to be very conscientious of how many soldiers you still have in a single squad, because they persist. So if you lose a squad, that's it. You're down a whole squad.
Right, because I bought Dawn of War 2 at some point, but I've never played it, and that was purely on the back of how much I liked the first Dawn of War, all the way up to Soulstorm.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly, like the first Dawn of War 2 only had the Space Marines, and then they added like others and expansions or something.
No, the first Dawn of War still has the first Dawn of War 2 still has the 4 core races. It's got
Okay.
Space Marines, Eldar, Orcs, and Chaos Space Marines.
Okay, because I had it in my head that there was some sort of, maybe it's just because you're going from the huge number that you had in Soulstorm just back down to 4, but there was something about it that I remember made me not want to play it straight away, and then I just forgot about it.
Well, like I said, it's not a base builder. That's the major thing. Is the fact that
Yeah,
it's.
well, I didn't know that at the time. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have bought it. I might be thinking of StarCraft. I think there was a StarCraft where you only got the Terrans, and then you had like expansion for the Protoss and the Zerg, which is just idiotic.
That could be StarCraft 2. I never played StarCraft 2.
No,
yeah, it sounded like something that Blizzard would do. But yeah, no, the Dawn of War 2. The major problem I've got with Dawn of War 2 is it's not like Dawn of War 1. It's more like, I would say, like XCOM.
Really, that's a big
Yeah.
change.
It's a huge change.
No, because I mean, XCOM is a good game and all, but I don't think you should make that big of a change within a series.
Yeah.
It'd be like if they released Super Mario Brothers, whatever, and it was, a fighting game, like not Smash Brothers, like Street Fighter, and it's like Super Mario Brothers 4. It's like, this is a fighting game. It's like that's how big of a shift it seems to me.
Yeah. And I get it. There was a lot of people that really didn't like Dawn of War 2, and then Dawn of War 3, they went back to base building, but they'd already lost their whole audience by then. Dawn of War 3 was not a big seller.
Well, I didn't even know there was a Dawn of War 3, so that speaks to how unsuccessful it was.
Yeah.
Hey,
Which
Lindsay.
is, it's disappointing.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Lindsay.
What's up?
Sorry, I've been
Which,
waiting
it's
for a
disappointing
chance to
because
say hi.
I really want Warhammer video games to do well.
Yeah. I mean, I've never played the actual tabletop mini game, but I like the setting, and so if more games get the 40k license, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Well, you know who has the license to make video games for Warhammer now, since THQ is dissolved?
No, do that.
Sega.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So, Sonic the Hedgehog makes 40k.
I don't think Sonic would last very long. I'm just saying.
No, he wouldn't.
Would that be such a bad thing, though?
The way Sonic is now, no.
Exactly. I'm sure Jay could be like, better than what they're putting out now.
Yeah.
I miss the Sega hardware, though.
Oh, yeah.
Me too. The Dreamcast was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Massively underrated console.
I never owned a single Sega console.
Never owned a Sega? Any
As a
Sega?
Nintendo fanboy,
Ah, yeah.
Get out.
I will be right back, folks.
By the time I was grown up enough to not get invested in console wars, Sega was out of the console market anyway.
Yeah.
See, I love both, but I Sega.
I was always the Sega guy. You know, when my friends would have an NES, I had my Sega Master System.
Yeah.
When my friends had Super Nintendo, I already had a Genesis for so long.
Is actually quite helpful because it allowed me to win a game of fibbage, because you have to put a truth and a lie about yourself.
Mhm.
And so the truth was I read the biblical book of Genesis, and the lie was I owned a Sega Genesis. And 0 people got it right, because it's like, I'm the video game guy that clearly it's like, no, I never had Nintendo. Oh, and down goes the stream.
Oh no!
Uh-oh, what?
Cynic says F, Geode says no.
It looks like it's still... Yeah, it looks like it's still live.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
think-
just low output. Sorry guys. It should snap back to normal soon enough.
Okay, cool.
No, but I'm married to a Nintendo fanboy. So...
Well, it's, you know, between the two of you, you've got all the consoles, right?
That's very true. Well, we don't have all the consoles, but I know he's been hinting at me about wanting to get a Nintendo Switch, and I don't know, I'm debating.
I got a Switch for like 2 or 3 games, and then it got killed in a power surge, and I just never bothered replacing it.
Oh,
So
no.
That sucks.
Yeah.
no, it does because I went to turn it on. I was like, okay, this is fucked. And then I was thinking back. I was like, oh no, we did have that power surge. That's probably what did it. But I mean, I was already mostly done with all the games that I owned anyway. Is like, I had like Mario Odyssey and Super Smash Brothers, and I can't even remember. There was one other game that I had, and yeah, I'd already played through as much as I was going to. So
Yeah, I remember when we were talking in the Lords of the Night chat, you were like super stoked that you got Odyssey and Smash Brothers.
yeah, they were good games. I played the hell out of Smash Brothers, and Odyssey started to drag. I finished the game, and there was like I had about 30% of the power moons available. It's like, do I really want to go through and get everything? No, I don't. So what else did I have on the Switch? There was something else. I can't remember. But yeah, I played through them all, and it was like I haven't seen anything mentioned that has made me go, okay, I'm buying a new Switch. I have to play this game.
Yeah. Anything that's absolutely Switch exclusive, because
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff on Switch is on everything else.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm only talking about the first-party Nintendo games, because everything else I can just play on Steam, and probably
Yeah.
already on Steam.
Well, for the most part, and now that's getting to be not the case anymore. You know, with the pay to Epic.
Epic account, but I only have it because they keep giving away free games. I'll take free games.
Yeah, and say that they keep on giving away free games. It's so funny too, because like I was mentioning to a friend of mine who downright refuses to do anything with Epic, which I'm not going to fault him for.
No.
But I myself do have an Epic account because, like Terry said, I like free. And
It's the only reason I have Epic is for the free games.
yeah, they keep giving away free games. So one of the things that I remember they gave away not too long ago was Metro.
Yep.
The Metro 2033 or something like that.
Yes.
I can't remember. But of course I accepted the free game, and then just to twist the blade a little bit, I guess. I went and I looked at my Steam account and then said, "Oh yeah, I already have this game,
Most,
and I already played through it 5 years ago."
most of the games I've gotten off Epic, I have already got on Steam. But I mean, if there comes a point where I need to have both, like if there's something on Epic that isn't on Steam that I really, really want to play, then it's just good to have the same games in both libraries, especially if I didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah. That's that. Like I said, that's the major thing is free. And with the one thing that I learned in college, the one thing that I learned that's the most important, more important than almost anything else I learned in college, never turn down something that's free.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Geodes is mentioning GOG, and I like them better when they lived up to their name, when they really were
old games. Yeah.
They were out of print, and like they brought them back.
Yeah.
So I've got like the Tex Murphy series on GOG because at the time Steam didn't have them, and I've got the entire King's Quest, the entire Leisure Suit Larry, Phantasmagoria, all these old Terror games.
Wow, King's Quest, that's an old school one.
Yeah, I have the entire King's Quest series on GOG.
I have it on Steam.
Yeah, I probably have it on both, but the reason I signed up to GOG was because they had all these old games that you couldn't get outside. Like, the only way to get them was to emulate them, and that was a pain in the ass. So like, if they're going to do all the hard work of getting it to run properly, yeah, I'll give them $5 for that.
Wow. Yep.
I'm just happy because it was announced recently that for the PS4 that they're going to be unlocking crossplay for all platforms.
Oh, good.
I'm like, about freaking time, because now I can bug my husband into downloading Dying Light for the Steam so he can play it with me as I play it on the PS4.
Cool.
So I've got to. The Steam. Downloaded for the Steam.
The Steam.
And Geode says, yeah, they're overhauling their Galaxy launcher to compete with Steam and Epic soon, as long as they keep the older games playable on newer systems. I'm happy, which is fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
that's reasonable.
Well, they build in the emulation for DOSBox directly into the launcher for GOG. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, what they do is when they release the game, they build in an emulator for an older computer. So you are essentially running a 286 in your computer. Yeah. You're running a computer within your computer. So.
Like the Super Nintendo emulators, it tricks your PC into thinking it's a different computer for the purpose of running those games.
Yes. Which is nice. Mm. It's really nice. Because I actually do have my own copy of, DOSBox, the emulation software, and I know how to use it. But if they're going to build DOSBox into the launcher and I don't have to worry about it, thank you. Yeah, it just saved me a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
It makes things... it's worth paying a few bucks to have them do all that, messing around, so I don't have to.
Well, I'll say this: their biggest mistake is that it's DRM free.
Oh yeah.
Yo-ho and a bottle of rum. Is all I gotta say.
I think they did that on principle. Like they wanted to be known as the DRM free platform because, and I actually agree with them. Yes, you obviously get a lot more piracy, but the boost to your reputation is worth it, because there's a lot of people who will buy a game, like they'll use piracy as a rental system, and if they like it, they'll buy the proper game.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people who'll just steal it. I mean, whatever. But a lot of people will use piracy as a trial. to see if they like it, and then buy the full game if they do. So I think CD Projekt Red probably the boost to their reputation was worth whatever they lost in piracy, because they still made a fortune on Witcher 3, and that was DRM free on GOG.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I know because that's how I go through and see games that I didn't play back in the day. I pirate them first, and then if I like them, I buy them.
Yeah.
But no, if GOG really wanted to really shine, though, there's an untapped market that no one is getting into. No one.
Now, okay, so I'm not familiar with Epic. Is it like Steam?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Steam,
just
Origin, yeah, it's all the same.
it's a shittier version of Steam, basically. A lot of the features that you'd be used to in Steam aren't there. There's no player review, there's no forums, there's no... and this is the one that always makes me laugh. There's no shopping cart. So you can't buy like 2 games at the same time. You have to buy one, click through all the things, and then go back to the store page, add the second one, and like do everything individually. They don't even have a shopping cart set up, which is like,
Yeah.
that is such a fundamental thing to add. How do you not have it?
Yeah. And say everyone's has shopping carts since the 90s. Come on.
Yeah, sure, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The website has. But yeah, no, the untapped market that I was referring to is Command and Conquer.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine if they came out with Command and Conquer and Command and Conquer Red Alert on GOG? Oh my god, they make so much money.
They would.
Oh man, that would be fucking awesome.
Say, I remember loving the shit out of the Command and Conquer games, but you can't play them now, not unless you know your way around DOSBox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was a game that it wasn't good, but it was just so nostalgic for me that when I found an abandonware site that had it, it's like, all right, yes, I'm playing this game right now, and it's called Psychic Detective. I don't know if any of you have even heard of it. So it's basically an interactive movie. So the premise is you're a psychic detective and you can move your consciousness from your body into that of anybody you have line of sight with. So it's basically watching the movie, but you can choose which character you view events from. And every time you see another character on screen, you can jump into their brain and see. And then when you go your separate ways, you'll follow the story from that character's perspective. And it's there's no.
Did they make a new game like that? Because one that sounds like a new game.
I don't know if there's a new game, but this one came out in like the late 90s. And it's like the window that has the movie in it is tiny because it's, you know, highly compressed FMV, and this is all they had back then. But yeah, no, it was a fun game, or fun experience. I don't know if you could really call it a game.
Well, it sounds very similar to another game they released for the PS2. Quiz would know about this, a game called Siren.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can, but instead of like you kind of hijacking people's minds, you kind of go into, they call it hijacking, where instead of going into regular people, you go into the minds of people that are possessed.
Yeah, it's basically so that you can see from, because Siren is a survival horror game that's very heavily based around stealth, and it's so that you can see from the monster's perspective to see if they've discovered where you are, or to see where their patrol path is going to be, so that you can kind of plan out how you get past them.
Yep,
that sounds cool.
Yeah. It's a fun game. I sincerely love both Siren games. Some of the voice acting is a little but if that's the only complaint, that's a 9 out of 10 right there.
And I never got to play the sequel too, and I've seen clips from the sequel. I'm like, damn, this looks pretty scary.
Yeah, well, the cool thing about the sequel is the fact that there's a gigantic cast of characters that you play as, and it rotates around whoever's story is being told at the time. Chapter 3 is you're playing as a little girl.
Oh Jesus!
She's like 5 years old in this like town full of possessed, murderous zombie sort of characters. It's crazy.
Oh Jesus! No, I just remembered seeing a game clip of like a bunch of people that were down, I think, in a mine shaft or something like that, and they were trying to get past some of the possessed down there. I'm like, this is creepy, and I love that kind of shit, of course, because horror, zombie or not zombie, survival horror is just a huge interest of mine.
Yeah.
You know what's weird? My Steam, like the page where you see the games that you own. That's been completely changed on my laptop, but not on my desktop. Like, I don't know why one version of Steam has been completely changed and the other one still looks the same as it always has.
Maybe you've changed, you've somehow inadvertently changed the view.
No, because like this one says, like the one on my laptop says beta, like it's like they're beta testing the new layout, but my PC that I actually play games on still has the old one. So the partial rollout maybe is like randomly to select which installations get upgraded.
I guess, I don't know. Yeah, because I'm looking at mine. Mine's like the old view. But you can change it to the different kinds of view. You got the grid view, list view, and then detail view.
No, I'm not talking about that because I knew how to change that. But this one has like a totally different layout. So I found the DOS version in the Abandonware website.
Nice.
All right, now I'm gonna look this up. Oh, okay.
It's an EA game.
Oh, back when EA was good.
Yeah. EA, they've got potential, but they keep on fucking themselves. And they even did back in the day, so...
Well, they made some great games for the Sega Genesis back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Some of my favorite games were EA games for the Genesis. Like the Strike games. Urban Strike, Desert Strike, Jungle Strike. Oh man, those were fantastic games. But the major problem with EA comes into the fact that they get a market share, they get a good idea, they get any sort of stuff like that, and then they start making demands.
I really liked was a game called The Haunting with Poltergeist. Yeah. Cause James Rolfe of Cinemassacre did a video talking about that game, and I'm like, it's a great game, very underrated.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, horror games really are some of my favorite games.
Yeah.
Some are better than others.
Yeah. Well, how Terry feels about Psychic Detective is how I feel about Resident Evil Survivor. I mean, it's a horrible game, but for me, it's fun to play.
Yeah, it's like sort of a nostalgic thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Or it's like how I remember Quiz and I, we were talking about like the earlier Resident Evil games, how they were just, oh my god, the acting is just top-notch, garbage tier.
Oh yeah, it's awful. Everything about it is terrible. I've said before on many occasions, I don't know how Resident Evil took off. I don't know how it became a popular thing. because the first couple of games were, well, Resident Evil 1 was terrible. It was an awful game. Resident Evil 2 was okay, mainly because Leon is actually a believable character. But
Well, I can tell you, well, zombies, for one. The first 3 games, well, it's argued that people in the fandom say that the first 3 games are the best. I've seen people, it seems like the general consensus is that Resident Evil started to go down around the release of 4, which I kind of disagree with because I thought 4 was very enjoyable.
4 is the best game, period.
But 5 and 6 is arguably, while they're fun games to play, they're not Resident Evil.
Yeah.
The only 2 I've played are 4 and 5. I loved 4, I hated 5, and I decided not to buy any more.
It's probably better for it.
Yeah.
Well, 7, I think 7's good. I don't know if it really has that good replay value, though, like the original games, but the RE2 remake I really, really enjoyed.
Well, if you want a good Resident Evil game, Terry, 4 was good, don't get me wrong, but if you want a good Resident Evil game, and I'm talking like a good Resident Evil game, Revelations.
Okay.
That's good. I agree with Quiz on that.
Yeah, Revelations was massively underrated because everyone likes to go for the the numbered canon ones, but no, Revelations was great. Number one, they struck a good balance because Capcom can't go 2 seconds without shitting themselves, so they have to put in that shitty inventory system, but at least it's manageable in Revelations. The one thing that Revelations has that almost no other Resident Evil had, dynamic lighting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very important. And it's really good. Like, they did a really, 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 really good job with the game presentation and the gameplay of Revelations. The story is
On the Steam page, it's listed as co-op. I'm hoping there's a single player.
It is. Yeah, I have for the 3DS. So yeah, there absolutely is single player.
Yeah, and I have the ports for the Xbox 360. But what I really liked, especially about the first game, it was such a breath of fresh air that they've gone back to that survival horror element to it, when yet 5 and 6 just completely went off the rails and just went more along the lines of action, which to me is not Resident Evil. And Revelations was like the first game, with it being set on the ship. It felt very in tune with the first 3 games. That whole claustrophobic feeling, you're on this ship and there's tight corridors.
Yep.
Stop it, cat.
Yeah, so I've added it to my wish list. It's something like 45 Australian dollars, so I'm not gonna just buy it on a whim. I'll probably wait until I'm in a game buying mood.
Yeah.
Wait until a sale.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll go on sale.
But,
It always does. Yeah.
Everything always does.
Well, that's what I noticed about Steam, is that they have some great sales. Like, we've gotten a couple of the Shadowrun games, I think, for under $10.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Shadowrun Returns games. Yeah.
Yep. And then I
say
think
those games are so simple, but they're so good.
And like, I know Quiz disagrees, but I actually like the Super Nintendo Shadowrun game. And I'm guessing it's because I had no basis of comparison, because Quiz is saying it's not real Shadowrun kind of thing. And
I'll give you this, okay? It's as a game, it's a good game.
Yeah.
It's just not a good Shadowrun game.
Mm-hmm.
And I would agree, because when I played it, it's like I didn't know what Shadowrun was.
Mhm.
I wasn't comparing it to other things in the Shadowrun universe. It was just playing what seemed to be like a really fun game.
Mhm.
And then I would say, I've heard that you end up being like absurdly overpowered by Shadowrun standards.
Well, like I said, you know, I kind of explained it on Lindsay's stream a little while ago,
Yeah.
last week. Essentially, what it is in the Shadowrun universe, your magic, the ability to perform magic, is tied directly to your essence. And your essence is essentially how much of your body is human, how much of your body is original, how much of your body is organic. Okay? So when you get cyberware, your essence drops. So your ability to perform magic is then suffering because you cannot then have any more of your original body because you're replacing it with cyberware. So the reason why the Shadowrun game for the SNES is not Shadowrun is because your character by the end of it is using an assault cannon, which should only be able to be used by things that are way larger than humans. Like we're talking orcs and trolls.
Yeah.
That should be able to carry that. You're wearing full body armor. That's okay. Everyone can wear full body armor in the Shadowrun universe. But you are fully decked out to the nines with cyberware. We're talking like, you know, wire reflexes, muscle replacements, subdermal armor, cyber eyes, cyber.
That's definitely true. By the end of the game, you're practically a robot.
And you still can use your magic to the full extent.
Yeah. And
now, in terms of the way they describe it in the tabletop, if a wizard or a shaman, which in this case Jake Armitage is a dog shaman, gets any piece of cyberware, they feel like a piece of themselves is completely missing, like psychologically, mentally, physically, all sorts of stuff. Like they feel like there's a piece of that, like more so than just like the phantom pain of a missing limb, like if you were to get a cyber limb. In Shadowrun, they describe the fact that when you replace an arm, like immense pain.
because when I was playing it, I had no idea that went so flagrantly against the rules of the setting.
Yeah.
And from memory, Shadowrun Returns handled it a lot better, where you actually were forced to sort of pick one or the other.
Yeah, the Shadowrun Returns actually absolutely does. Like you can still get like, you know, a data jack if you're a magically active character. The only thing that I wish that Shadowrun Returns did was allow you to come right out and say your character is not magically active. Because it's going under the assumption that no matter what, you have access to magic, and you just kind of degrade if you get cyberware.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't like that. I like the, you know, that should be a toggle. Like I'm magically active, I'm not magically active. There you go.
So would you say that the Sega Genesis version is more in tuned with the tabletop?
The Sega Genesis version is in time with the tabletop. That's the major difference, is that yes, all of the rules that apply in the tabletop apply in the Sega Genesis game.
Okay.
100%. Whereas, you know, like the Sega Genesis game is 100% Shadowrun. The Shadowrun Returns is like 99% Shadowrun, because the whole assuming that, you know, you'll always you can be magically active and you know, cybered out. And then the Shadowrun SNES game is like maybe 20% Shadowrun.
Oh. Yeah, and that's how I feel about Resident Evil 4 and 5, or 5 and 6. Yeah, they're good games, but they're not good Resident Evil games.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't even think 5 was a good game. I just didn't like it. And then I was like, okay, I'm done with the series. 4 was good, 5 is bad. I'm checking out.
Yeah, the fifth game, the visuals were very pretty, but I didn't like the whole co-op system.
No, I didn't either.
What, you don't like, what's her name, Ziva or whatever?
Sheva? Yeah.
Sheva? Yeah. Running over and like punching barrels to give you pistol ammo all the time?
No, I didn't really like that. And Chris's roided out new look, like, nah, just where he goes around punching boulders. Yeah, that wasn't exactly my thing.
Do you even lift, bro?
No, but as much as I love Resident Evil, I'm with you, Quiz. I'm more of a Silent Hill fan.
Yes. And say, my friend and I, we've gone back and forth about this. She's really into Resident Evil, and I'm much more of a Silent Hill fan. But we both can agree that there are virtues in both games.
Yeah.
I think I've kind of won her over a little bit more. She still, really loves Resident Evil, but every time there's anything new for Silent Hill, we both freak out about it.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm still upset with Konami about that. I just want a new Silent Hill game, and Lord knows when we're gonna get that.
Never. We're never gonna get it.
Probably.
We'll get a new Silent Hill pachinko machine.
Oh, for sure. Well, yeah. It's like, they'll give us plenty of pachinko machines, especially to some of their IPs, but good luck with the new Silent Hill game.
You know what's even worse than that? Do you know where the headquarters for Konami America is?
No.
It's in Vernon Hills, Illinois. I could drive to their corporate office.
Well, you should. You should. You just go through their entrance, and then you just go to the reception desk like, hey, when are we getting another Silent Hill game?
Yeah, right?
I demand, if we have a sit-in at the headquarters, like, we demand a new Silent Hill game, damn it.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing is, like, there are so many people that are diehard, purists and stuff like that about it. I don't get it.
Me neither.
Because, I mean, even games like Downpour, which, you compare Downpour to, say, something like Silent Hill 3, there's no comparison. Silent Hill 3 is infinitely better. But it's still a good game.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? The story is... Okay, so maybe the gameplay is not that great, and I wish they had more of a variety of monsters, but the story is just absolutely fantastic.
And that's what you play Silent Hill for. You don't play Silent Hill for the for the monsters. You play Silent Hill for the story.
Yep. It's like the same could be said about The Last of Us. Sure, The Last of Us gameplay wasn't all that great, but it was more. It sold me more on the story and the characters.
Yeah, which is one of the reasons why I was a little skeptical at first when they kept on showing a whole bunch of stuff for Last of Us, and they didn't have Joel anywhere to be seen.
Yeah.
I was all like, oh, well, I know what I'm going to be skipping if it's just going to be Ellie.
Well, because to me, The Last of Us is revolved around Joe. Or around Joel. Yeah, sorry. Joel, Joe,
one of them J names.
Same difference.
I think if they want to be really funny, they should replace Joel with Mike.
My husband would highly approve of that, probably.
I don't know, man. Joel was the better one.
I have to agree with that. I think Joel was probably my favorite out of the two.
Yeah. Because Joel had the best episode, which was Pod People.
Yes.
Oh, hell yes.
It stinks.
It stinks.
It stinks.
And he even makes the racist hand gesture to say it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, he does.
Right? I guess that makes Joel a racist now.
Posthumously, yeah. Oh, is he dead?
Yeah. Well, it's the same with the antagonists. I prefer was it Dr.
Forrester?
Dr. Forrester. Yeah, Dr. Forrester. I prefer Dr. Forrester and Frank over Pearl and...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Clayton Forrester is the best character on that show.
It has nothing to do with pods. It has nothing to do with people. It has everything to do with pain.
Oh God, I'm surprised my husband hasn't heard that, because if he hears any MST3K quotes, I will not hear the end of it. Have you seen the episode with was it Hercules versus the Moon Men or something?
Yeah.
I'm just seeing that deep hurting Deep hurting. That was like my favorite Dr. Forrester Frank moment. Sandstorm.
We lost the stream again.
Yeah, but it came back really quick this time.
Okay, good.
Oh, good Canuck potato.
Well, if you hear me going, oh, or uh-oh, that's me noticing on my laptop that the stream is either at really low quality or it automatically ended itself and I'm waiting for it to resume. Like I pointed out, Canuckistani internet, plus, as I mentioned earlier, I've got construction going on outside, and as I've always mentioned, I have a strong suspicion that if I talked less shit about Canada and the government, particularly crypto, I might have better internet, but I am not a boot to lower my standards so much. So, thank you for bearing with me, folks. It is very much appreciated.
Hey guys, I need to go AFK for a little bit. I got to dinner to start and some Jake pee to clean up. I just noticed. So
Jake pee.
Yeah, he peed in the house. I need to go and discipline him.
We're gonna be going for about another 10 minutes here anyway. So.
Oh, okay.
Then we'll get that. That gives people plenty of time to get ready for Lords of the Night if they're going over to watch that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just sneezed right there, and my head hurts.
You want me to stick around to the end then?
It's up to you, man. Whatever works for you, but I'm just happy you showed up at all.
Well, we got another 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's up to you guys. If you guys want to use that to continue chatting, show some shit, channels, streamlabs, GoFundMes, whatever the fuck you want to show, friend stuff, by all means.
Well, yeah, friend stuff. You should link your Streamlabs, motherfucker.
You should read my description, motherfucker.
Oh, is it in there?
Yeah.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Check. Meet mate. There's Terry saving the stream.
Hashtag we love Trudeau.
Hashtag blackface is fine with us.
Hashtag I'm not sad.
Hashtag Aladdin is an appropriate Halloween costume.
Jack asked, whose baby will we eat to save climate change?
I don't like babies.
Well, I think the only fair way to do it is to have babies myself and then eat those.
Oh my god.
Oh Lord.
Can you have babies by yourself? I thought there were two people that were involved in that, bare minimum.
Well, according to Mary.
Well, I'm presuming that they can make an artificial womb of some variety.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Anything's possible, right?
Yeah.
Because after all, gender is a social construct. Remember that.
Yeah.
Bigots.
I like Duck Dog and Geodes. Duck Dog says, babies are the veal of the cannibal world. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And Geodes points out answers Jack's question with, he would eat the dingo's babies.
It serves him right.
Right?
Turnabout's fair play.
Fuck. After all them fucking babies.
Jack, singles can have babies now, bigot.
Damn straight.
Like, right now? What about 5 minutes from now? Or even tomorrow? How long is there an expiration date on singles having babies?
Yes.
Time doesn't exist. It's a tool for white supremacy.
Oh.
I've not heard that one, but I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I like it. It's funny. It's clever, but don't give them ideas.
I like the hashtag don't eat babies with scrolling across the bottom of the screen while we were saying that.
Yes. Oh, right, and the fucking eat the bugs thing. Oh my god.
Dude, I had a lollipop once that had a cricket in it. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
Like when I got down to the cricket, it tasted like burnt popcorn. It was gross.
No, I thought I saw one of those internet videos that you find on Facebook. I don't know if it was now this, but they were advertising for cockroach milk. And I'm like, I hate everybody.
Yeah, I've seen that on fucking Facebook, Twitter, Mind you, I only go on Facebook. It used to be once a week, but now it's once a day for family. But I happen to scroll down because I don't want to fucking go on there, see nothing, and then be like, well, I came here for nothing. I might as well spend 5 minutes, see if I can find something funny. It's like, yeah, you people are fucking retarded. You are absolutely fucking retarded.
Milk cockroaches. You can't do it. They don't have mammary glands.
I was gonna say, how the fuck do you milk a cockroach?
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
It's not milk. It's
Not milk?
something else. But it's certainly not milk.
It's fuck
They don't
milk.
have mammary glands. They're not a mammal. They're an insect.
It's fuck milk.
That's true.
So it makes me wonder then if Joe was supplied with plenty of cockroach milk when he was living in his apartment. Anybody who gets that reference wins a cookie.
Cynic makes a good point. You milk a cockroach the same way you milk an almond.
Yeah. Because almonds aren't mammals either.
Right?
That's true.
Ain't even a fruit. At least I don't think.
Yeah, but almond milk is good though.
I'll take your word for it.
I've had I've had dark chocolate almond milk and it tastes just like regular chocolate milk. It's quite crazy, but no, yeah, you can have your cockroach milk. I would rather eat shards of glass.
I agree.
That's probably more nutritious for you than cockroach milk. Just saying.
The Duck Dog said barbecue freeze-dried grasshoppers are pretty good. You know, I had once at a convention, at a comic convention. It was ice cream that was frozen with liquid nitrogen.
Oh
yeah.
It was so good. It was so good.
There used to be an ice place close to where we lived that had that, where you could literally make your own ice cream. They would put together like the cream and whatever flavors you want, and they would freeze dry, or not freeze dry, but yeah, use the liquid nitrogen and freeze it right there.
Yeah,
It was wild.
Yeah, it was delicious. I always thought that like liquid nitrogen, the flash freezing like that would cause it to be like brittle like glass, but it was so creamy. It was delicious.
Connecting.
Yeah.
There we go. We're back. Sorry, folks.
I just love how it was stuck on Don't Eat Babies.
Perfect.
They heard "Don't Eat Babies" so that they just shut the stream off.
You know, that's gonna be that better be the thumbnail. Is just when it's scrolling across the screen and it says "Don't Eat Babies." I hope that ends up the thumbnail.
Yes. If not, you can always search through and set it as
Yes, you're right. I've actually made that point to someone before, and I was like, oh yeah, but work.
yeah.
Oh, my tummy hurts. I ate too. Okay, so I didn't eat anything before and after I went on Blind Press's stream. And then we went out to eat, and I fucking gorged myself, and now my stomach is just
And before we go, Duck Dog says Rogers Telecom needs to spend more money on infrastructure and less on arenas. Fair. Fair. Alright, but we are going to wrap up there. It's been a bit over 2 hours, combined with all the not including the time we spent disconnected and shit like that. Thank you guys for stopping by for my first live stream back on YouTube. Very much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I hope to see you in the future. Thank you for Lindsay, Quiz, and Terry for joining me today. I very much appreciate it, and hope to do it again sometime soon.
Absolutely. Count me in.
If you got any links, throw them in the chat. And then, because I was realizing 3/4 of the way through, I could have just fucking put them in the description, and then I could copy and paste them later on myself, but I got too lazy, so next time.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm sure I'll see most, if not some of you, over Lords of the Night. And I think I might be hosting Minions Night, so check the
You think?
Well, Reject said if I wanted to host, I could, but I turned Discord off while I'm streaming because I don't get notifications while OBS is running. So I'll check back. But yeah, check the Discord. It's either going to be me or Rejected tonight, I think. Anyone here is more than welcome. Most anyone here, like anyone on the panel, is definitely more than welcome to join tonight if they're feeling up to it. But yeah, just let us know in stream time, and I'll see you when I see you guys.
Bye, guys.
Hey,
Night,
everyone.
everyone.